Lesson 1B. Do you believe it? Graphology, psychics, and the language you need to describe what people are really like. This is the full revision. Reading skills, vocabulary, grammar, and writing. Every slide is written in English and Arabic, so read the screen as you listen. 4 parts. First, the reading skills this lesson tests, and they are not the same skills as in Lesson 1A. Second, personality vocabulary, with the prefixes and suffixes that build it. Third, the grammar, auxiliary verbs, and the more, the better structure. And fourth, writing, describing a person properly. There are practice checks along the way, so keep a pen ready. Part 1. Reading skills. 4 skills. 4 different methods. 1. Guessing from context. Decide the part of speech first, then hunt for clues around the word. 2. Matching people or names. Do not read the whole text again. Underline the key word in the question, then scan for that one detail. 3. True or false. And this is where students lose the most marks. False means the text says the opposite. Not given means the text simply does not mention it. Those are 2 different answers. 4. Matching headings to paragraphs. A heading must cover the whole paragraph, not just one sentence inside it. Now the words the exam pulls out of this text. Legible means clear enough to read. Illegible is the opposite, impossible to read. Assertive means confident enough to say what you want. Prominent means easy to notice, standing out. And skeptical means doubting that something is true, which is exactly how the journalist felt about the psychic she visited. Watch context. Working. The more illegible your signature is, the less assertive you are. Suppose you have never met the word illegible. Look inside it. It contains legible, which means readable, and it begins with il, which is a negative prefix. So illegible must mean not readable. You worked it out without a dictionary, and that is exactly what the exam is testing. Now the trap I warned you about. Here is a line from the text. A rising signature means the writer is optimistic and ambitious. And here are 3 statements. Decide true, false, or not given for each one. Statement 1. A rising signature shows optimism. True. The text says it directly. Statement 2. A rising signature shows the writer is lazy. False, because the text says the opposite, ambitious. Statement 3. Most managers have rising signatures, not given. Managers are never mentioned. Notice the difference. False contradicts the text. Not given is simply absent from it. Part 2. Vocabulary, personality. 10 adjectives you must own. Arrogant, thinks he is better than everyone. Assertive, says clearly what he wants. Bad-tempered, gets angry very easily. Conscientious, always does the job properly. Considerate, thinks about other people's feelings. Possessive, does not want to share you. Stubborn, refuses to change his mind. Immature, behaves like a child. Unsociable, does not enjoy meeting people. And loyal, always supports his friends. Quick check. Which adjective fits? Number 1, he never admits he is wrong and will not change his opinion. Number 2, she always finishes her work perfectly and on time. Number 3, he shouts at everyone over nothing. 1 is stubborn. 2 is conscientious. 3 is bad-tempered. And notice, if you could not remember conscientious, you could still write, she is the kind of person who always does her work properly. That is paraphrasing, and we come back to it in part 4. Now the negative prefixes, because the exam loves these. Un is the usual one: unambitious, unreliable, unhelpful. Im goes before M and P: immature, impatient. In goes before most other letters: insincere, invisible. Il and IR go before L and R: illegible, irresponsible. And dis covers a small group: dishonest, disloyal. Notice the pattern. The prefix matches the first letter of the word it joins. And the suffixes that turn a word into an adjective. Talk becomes talkative. Rely becomes reliable. Cheer becomes cheerful. Care becomes careless. And ambition becomes ambitious. So the exam question is always the same shape. Take the word in bold and add a prefix, a suffix, or sometimes both. Your turn. Turn each of these into the adjective that fits. Ambition, talk, rely, cheer, sincere, unambitious, talkative, unreliable, cheerful, insincere. Look carefully at number 1 and number 3. Both needed a prefix and a suffix together. Ambition took un and aus. Rely took un and able. That double change is the hardest version of this question, and it appears every year. Part 3, Grammar, Auxiliary Verbs. An auxiliary is a helping verb: be, do, have, and the modals. In this lesson, they do 5 different jobs. 1, short answers: yes, she is. 2, adding emphasis: Ireland does play a big role in my life. 3, checking information with a tag: she suffers from headaches, doesn't she? 4, showing surprise: is it? I have never been there. And 5, avoiding repetition: and so will your mother. Learn those 5, and this whole section becomes easy marks. Question tags: one rule only. A positive sentence takes a negative tag, and a negative sentence takes a positive tag. You're Tom's sister, aren't you? She doesn't like me, does she? You didn't call, did you? And always repeat the same auxiliary that is already sitting in the sentence. Add the tag to these 3. He's been to Spain, blank. They didn't tell you, blank. She can drive, blank. Hasn't he, did they, and can't she? Positive takes negative, negative takes positive, and the auxiliary always matches. Agreeing with someone. Use so for a positive and neither for a negative. I'm tired. So am I. I don't smoke. Neither do I. I've been to Rome. So have I. And be very careful with neither. It is already negative, so you never add another not after it. Neither do I is right. Neither don't I is wrong. Echo questions. You repeat just the auxiliary to show interest. I'm really tired. Are you? I went to Paris. Did you? I've lost my keys. Have you? I don't like fish. Don't you? Match the auxiliary and match the tense, and your English immediately sounds natural. Now the mini grammar. The, plus comparatives. It shows that one thing depends on another. If you study more, you learn more becomes the more you study, the more you learn. If we leave soon, we will get there earlier becomes the sooner we leave, the earlier we will get there. Two halves. Each half starts with the, and each half carries a comparative. Quick check. Rewrite this one. If you are happy, you are nicer to other people. The happier you are, the nicer you are to other people. Happy became happier, and nice became nicer. Short adjectives take er. Longer ones take more. Part 4. Writing. First, paraphrasing, and this one rescues you in the exam. If you cannot remember the exact adjective, describe it instead. She's the kind of person who never forgets a birthday. He tends to lose his temper. She has a tendency to take over the conversation. He comes across as quite arrogant. 4 phrases that will save any answer you write. Four rules for describing a person. 1. Never drop the third person S. He tends to. She comes across as. 2. Always give an example. Say why you think so, then prove it with a real situation. 3. Balance the picture using whereas or however. And 4. Stop writing the word nice. Choose a precise adjective from this lesson instead. Here is what all of that looks like together. My cousin is one of the most conscientious people I know. She's the kind of person who checks her work 3 times. She can be a little stubborn, whereas her brother tends to give in immediately. 1 precise adjective, 1 example, 1 contrast. That is a complete answer. So here is the whole of Lesson 1B on a single screen. Take a screenshot of this one and keep it. And remember the 3 things that decide most of your marks here. False and not given are 2 different answers. The negative prefix matches the first letter of the word, and an auxiliary verb has 5 jobs, not 1. Learn those 3, and Lesson 1B is yours. Good luck.